Hi, I'm here with Michelle Bevan, and we're in Hamilton, New Zealand. And Michelle has been living a transformed life, and she has a very interesting testimony of how she's been walking through the process of transformation. And I just knew you would be very interested and encouraged to hear her story. Michelle, welcome to our blog. There's 5,000 people who want to hear your story.
Thanks, Grant.
So tell us, what happened and how did it evolve?
I think it's a long story, really. All my life there's been some challenges that I have struggled to really overcome, and I have tried various things. I've worked with different counsellors and various people to try and address the issues, and it finally got to the point where I had to make a decision that I had had enough and I was going to change those things that I felt just really hampered me from being everything that God wanted me to be. And so I made that decision, and I had already felt like I'd got to know you a bit through the blogs, and so to contact you was really, it felt more like contacting someone that I was a friend that lived a long way away more than a complete stranger. And so that was really good. So I contacted you and started working with you, and fairly quickly I started to sense a shift in myself. Over a period of only a few weeks, I really felt that transformation occur within me, and a lot of it occurred outside our sessions too. And you'd remember that I would email you between sessions, and I had quite a bit of revelation from God. I spent a lot of time in prayer and really seeking His direction around some big decisions I had to make at the time, and I just haven't looked back from that period of time. It's just been amazing. There had been some quite big things from my childhood that I had really struggled to let go of, and so that was, for me, quite major to be able to feel released from those things. There were some unhealthy dynamics in the relationships that I had at the time that were, I thought, real hurdles. And I was able to make some different decisions around those two and feel really set free from those. As I prayed, God revealed certain major events. So it wasn't like I had to go step by step through every traumatic thing that had ever happened. It was particularly just the odd particular event that had occurred, and not even necessarily the bigger events. It was quite random for me. And as I prayed through those things and those things were revealed to me, I was able to forgive the people that were involved in those, forgive myself, and just really lay those things to rest and set myself free from holding on to the, whatever I'd held on to from those experiences. And as I went through that process, I noticed over time that real freedom that comes from God and that real sense of peace that started to grow within my own spirit that I didn't previously have. Also found that I had believed lies about God too, that He wouldn't be there for me and He wouldn't look after me. And to look back on that, it kind of seems a bit ridiculous to have believed that, but I don't even think I could have told you that consciously I thought that. But the biggest and hardest step for me was to actually take that first step, because at the end of the day I hadn't really trusted that He would be there and He would be able to deliver me from the things that I had carried for so long. The key step was making a decision. I had to make a decision that I had had enough and that things had to change. And once I made that decision, the next big decision was allowing God to show me what were the things that I needed to change, and I guess believing Him that I could change those things.
And that He would help you.
He would help
that
me.
You weren't doing it on your own,
Yeah.
that He was walking you through it.
Yeah.
So what would you recommend to the viewers watching who may be stuck? What advice would you give to them? Because some of them are still in pain, not sure what to do, and they're not really sure anything could ever change.
Make a decision to take that first step and just reach out and do what you need to do. And probably, like for me, within myself, I knew what I needed to do. The hard bit was to actually make the decision to get out there and do it. But the end result has been so worth it. I wouldn't go back to where I was for anything. I have a sense of peace and joy that I don't know that I've ever experienced before in life. Even when things are difficult, I can be happy. It doesn't overwhelm me like it used to. I don't go back and revisit those things anymore. I don't need to do that. I think I'm a lot more accepting of the people around me too, and accepting of, you know, they've got failings and they're not necessarily going to do the things I want them to do, but it doesn't actually matter. Yeah, I think I'm a lot more confident. I'm a lot more confident in my own abilities. I'm a lot more confident in my relationship with God, which is probably the most important thing. But because I feel confident in God, I know that whatever I head out to do, I don't have to worry about doing that in my own strength anymore. It's like you've talked about, I really have that physical sense of climbing on his knee and just saying, okay, God, this is really big, and I just need you to do it, and I'll just be there.
So you actually found our materials helpful?
Oh, unbelievably helpful, yeah. And I still do. You know, the blogs are fantastic. I'm still working with a small group through the 10-step program.
Awesome.
The coaching was brilliant, and the coaching just was the thing that made the difference for me. When I'd made that decision and I engaged in the coaching, and the things, it wasn't that God just appeared in the coaching, and when I had coaching sessions, that was where the shifts were made, because he was also there in between the coaching sessions, and he also revealed things to me, and I was able to work through things between sessions as well. So that whole period of time that I was working on the coaching was really active.
Well, that's fantastic, Michelle. Like, it's just such a treat, and for the viewers to see someone who had a painful past and God's actually walking them through, and you're getting increasing freedom. The transformation process doesn't end.
No.
So to live a transformed life, you need to make a decision to take steps to come out of your pain and into freedom. Now, if this is your first visit here, then you need to get my free self-assessment guide. And to do that, just subscribe to my weekly email newsletter, and just subscribe, use the subscription form that is still right there. I'm in New Zealand, but the form is still right there. And I'll talk to you again next week. But this week, make a decision to take some steps to your personal transformation.